Hey YouTube, well it's anything goes Saturday. Sally's gone shopping and I have to do a little bit of plumbing repair, so I'll show you what that is in a minute. So what's going on here is no matter what we do with that thing, the stopper stays down in there, so we're going to fix that today. Okay, so to just show you how this works, this stopper goes down inside this pipe, okay? So at the bottom of the stopper, this thing comes in from the side in this pipe right here, and when it comes in there and you pull up and down on the rod, it opens and closes the stopper. Well, you can see there's no rod left, so that rod is gone. Now, it wasn't plastic either, it was metal, and that's unbelievable, but it is. So anyway, when you buy the new stopper repair thing, what you get is this, alright? So, and this is a little longer. I had to cut this off because it was hitting the back of the wall of the cabinet. So they give you 3 different balls there. You can adjust according to the size you have there. One's too small, one's too big, the other one's just right. So what happens is you take off the back of this pipe here, off the back of this pipe, okay, there's one of these little nuts here, okay, that go over top of the rod that goes into the stopper. Alright, so it's hard for me to do this with one hand, but anyway, so what you do is you put these together. The stopper has a taper on it which goes into this to stop it from dripping, and you just screw the plastic into the metal like this. Okay, so the nut's on there, and now all I have to do is put this down in and basically shove that through that hole. It's not hard to do. It's actually easy. You just, you know, put this one in. Don't tighten it. Just stick it in the hole that's over there, and just lower this down, and you'll feel when it's got a hold of it. So I'm gonna try and get you underneath here to see the actual pipe, because Sally has stuff in our cabinets, and I'm not gonna be doing anything with it, but right there is where the stopper goes into that piece that's hanging out there, and then you can see what's hanging down in the back there. That piece of metal with the holes in is what hangs down to pull that up and down. That's the metal with the holes in is hooked to this thing. Okay, so you can actually take that off there or whatever, but, and this is not, this is a Kohler faucet, but this isn't Kohler. This is some Danco, and I don't know if it's, you know, how well it is. It's probably made in frickin' China, but who knows. Let me just see here. I can't really read that from where I'm at here. You may be able to read it, but I can't even read that. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 2 things together there, and then this will be fixed. Oh, and there's also a little spring here. What happens is when you put this through the rod with the holes in, you put this end on there, put the rod down with the hole in, squeeze these together, and it'll make like a tension on that so that it'll stay on. So then you just slide this back and forth or whatever you need. They're not hard to do, they're not hard to adjust. It's just a matter of, you know, you want the water to come out. So I'll show you what it's like when I'm done. Okay guys, so now you can see if you pull up on it, the stopper goes down, you push down on it, and the stopper comes back up. So water's going down there, and if you pull up, the water stops. So like I say, this is not a really hard thing to do, and actually we don't even really use the stoppers that much to hold water back. The problem is when the stopper goes, it closes and the water won't go out. So that's the end of that. I'll give you a little bit of info on the part here in a second. So let me just take this out of the back. Okay, so it says here Danco fits most ball rod assembly. And then it tells you what's here: 6-inch metal rod, 3 pop-up balls, small, medium, and large. And then it says cone washers. Okay, 2 cone washers. And Comodo Universal de Varela de Bola. I have no idea what that means in Spanish or whatever language that is. Taiwan. Okay, well, at least it works. Alright, so anyway, I'll show you what you get in here then. I think this thing was about $3 or less. Okay, so in the package, in the new package that's here, you don't get that, and you don't get this. What you get is 3 balls that look just like this, okay? And they have threads on this end, on the ball end. So the plastic end is the piece that goes inside to raise the stopper up and down. So you get 3 of these: a small one, a medium one, and a large one. Mine took the medium one, okay? Then they give you 3 of these washers, and they give you a rod about 6 inches long, a metal rod. You know what I mean? That's just a straight rod. It's threaded on each end. So I cut it off because the rod was too long. So when I put it onto here, you thread this in there nice and tight, and you know, to make that longer. And the rod coming down from the top, when it attaches to this thing was already against the back of the cabinet, so that's no good. So I had to cut it. All right. So anyway, you get 3 of these, 2 of these, 1 rod. Okay. So at first I thought to myself, all right, well, I'll use this as a washer, because there's different brands out there, and some of them do have these as washers where you actually put this against the nut that goes on there, and it helps to seal it. But yeah, actually you don't even need that at all for the Kohler ones. So I took this medium sized one, I put the rod on it, the long rod, and I cut the rod. But I'm just saying, I screwed it on there and I cut the rod. And then I screwed the nut onto it and put the stopper down to connect to this hole. So what I do is I leave this part out, and you can do it different ways, but I leave this part out of the hole on the side of the pipe until I set the stopper down in. I put the stopper all the way down with the bottom hole facing the front. It's no more towards the front than it is towards the back. So then you put this in there and make sure you're on the hole by, you know, wiggling this up and down. Once you're on the hole, you can tighten up the nut for this thing. Okay, and then you're good. Now here's the problem with bringing this rod. This metal rod, you're supposed to be able to take this clip, okay, stick part of the metal rod through it. Let me just get a grip here. You stick part of the metal rod through it, you put the rod through with the holes in it, you stick that through the hole, and then you bring it through this side. And the tension on this thing, and it's kind of springy steel, is supposed to hold that. Well, the problem was with mine is that this rod wasn't fitting this too well. This wasn't heavy enough, and the rod's sort of worn out. It's kind of oblong, the hole, rather than perfectly round, but either way it didn't work. But what did work was one of these washers. They fit so tight that after you put, let me just try and get you to see here. So after you put the metal rod into this, now the rod's longer, I just cut this. After you put the metal rod in there, you put the nut over this, okay, to cap that into the pipe. Then this is sticking out and you're supposed to put this through. Well, that doesn't want to work, but what did work really good was the rod coming down that had holes in. So in other words, it was more or less a rod coming down looking similar to this. Okay, so you put this through here, and all I did was I took this washer and shoved this over top of it, and it's so tight that it's holding it on there really good. So you could actually put two of them on there if you want. Put one on, you know, with the flat side, put the rod on from the top, and then put another one on there if you wanted to hold it tight, you know, in one place. Now I didn't do that. I just went and put it on the back because it's not really going anywhere, and like I say, we very seldom use that. I don't put water in the sink and let it fill up to be able to do anything with it. We just basically wash our hands with that sink. So anyway, that's how that works. Now I have pieces left over to throw in my plumbing box. So that's what I'll do. But anyhow, it's not a big deal, like I say. It's a couple bucks. I think it was $3 or less. I'm not positive of that. I got it at Lowe's. I'll give you the part number there in case you're wondering. 88532. This is the only kind they had too. At one time they used to have ball and rod for, you know, American Standard ball and rod for different kinds of pipe fittings. Now pretty much they're all the same the way this drain works, so you can make it work. You just have to take a good look at how it's made. I'm very surprised though that this metal actually washed away there. So this rod was sticking out to here, and this thing actually just washed away, wore away. So that's over 15 years time. So I put this in there 15 years ago when the house was new, and that's about it. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed that little one. So have a good one. And it's just one way of fixing a stopper. I did buy 2 of these, by the way. I got to go fix the stopper in our bathroom also. That one's doing the same thing. And the other thing I want to tell you too before I go too far here is when you pull that stopper out of there, it's going to be dirty. I mean, it's yucky. You can figure whatever spit goes down the sink and whatever hair goes down the sink is on that thing. So, you know, you're going to want to clean that good, and then you're going to wash your hands good. So I just washed my hands, but I'm going to put some alcohol on them as well. Now that sink that we just were at, that's the one for the little powder room that's next to our bathroom. This sink here is off of the main bedroom, or master bedroom. So this is going to be, now this one's kind of working, but you can see I'm pulling the rod like way out before it goes hardly anything at all. So I'll just put a new one of these on and be done with that for a while. Maybe I won't have to fix it in my lifetime. Okay, well I found a little surprise here. For one thing, this is what was on there, and this end was bent, so it wasn't really grabbing a hold of the stopper well. So I'm going to be putting the new one on there, and this is the nut that comes off that attaches to the drop tube. But you can see that this is a lot thicker than what the other one was. Like, see, here's the new one. There's a big difference in the thickness of those. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to use if I can take this rod and get it into that bolt, I'll use it. Otherwise I'll use the other rod. I don't think I'll be able to get it in. Okay guys, so this is the same as the other one. Up and down, opens and closes the shut-off valve. So I'm glad that I'm glad that worked out. So it wasn't too hard. The bending over is what kills me. Have a good one, guys. So you can see that snow that was here the other day is just about completely gone. There's a little pile over here where I had pushed a little pile to put food for the deer and stuff, but it's just about gone. And the temperature is what is that, 32, 34 or 35 degrees there. So it's not gonna snow, I don't believe, that's for certain. But it was raining, then it stopped about an hour ago. Check this out, guys. I bought this for Sally for Christmas because she just likes junk in the house, or, you know, good types of things. Lifetime warranty, Oneida dessert server. She went to use this to pick up a, you can see it there. She went to use this to pick up a cookie off of a tray. And it's already broke. I told her to take it back, get your money back, we'll buy something else. I'm telling you, everything is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.